Welcome to Night Shift with Justin S. King, how to transform your life one night at a time. You may have heard of the book Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. His newest updated version of it has a section in that book about evening routines, but I am going to go back to the very first Miracle Evening where he first talked about it way back in November of 2018. He had only started doing a structured evening routine about 2 weeks prior to this, and that evening routine included 3 parts. What he said were recollection, reflection, and celebration. So I'm going to break down that miracle evening routine that he first started using and how he said he'd already began to experience some big breakthroughs from it. So part 1 is recollection, and that is where you start by recalling your day in writing, keeping it simple, what actually happened, and anchoring that in active gratitude. What he says is active gratitude is actually expressing it, not just listing it, but expressing it. What are you grateful for and why does that matter? And this shifts your internal state and conditions, how your brain encodes the day during sleep. I actually covered gratitude in the evening a few episodes ago. Part 2 of his miracle evening routine at that time was reflection. And you're going to ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish? What are the self-imposed limitations that keep me from accomplishing that? What are the excuses that I'm using to avoid accomplishing it? And how do I eliminate that excuse and those self-imposed limitations? He referenced this in reference to a book he was writing. He had spent months trying to write a follow-up book called The Miracle Equation, and he ended up getting a partner to help him write it because he had made no traction in the first month of trying to write it on his own. So you're going to you're going to isolate one area of your life in the reflection and rate that area 1 to 10. Just give an exact number to it and define what a 10 in that area actually looks like clearly, specifically, and go deeper on that. You can ask yourself, what am I doing well? What should I continue doing? And what needs to improve? He calls this process the manufactured breakthrough. I covered something similar in a previous episode called stacks. And this is actually, we have quite a few versions of the stack in Wake Up Warrior if you're interested in manufactured breakthroughs, where you actually take the time to break through rather than letting your circumstances push you to the point where you have to make changes. And this is the part of his routine that he said has made significant difference in his life already at that point. One thing was specifically that you want to come away with an action. So once you have that breakthrough and the realization, you are going to come up with a consistent daily action that allows you to change that area of your life. And part 3 of the miracle evening routine at that point was called celebration, where you close the day by reinforcing progress, acknowledging what worked, taking a minute of stillness, breathing. You can do meditation or silence, but just really live in the moment and appreciate the day that you had. And this sets the emotional tone that carries into your sleep. Insight without actions are useless. So take one breakthrough and convert it into a specific action. Schedule that into your daily routine and make it recurring if needed. Because if it's not scheduled, you won't do it. That is a run through of Hal Elrod's miracle evening recollection, reflection, and celebration. Try adding one of these routines to your evening tonight and see if you want to keep using it in the future. One thing I do like is how he mentioned writing everything down and journaling. So if you don't have an evening journal, that would be my recommendation for today's night shift. Pick up a journal that you can write in on an evening basis. If you'd like more information on evening routines, head over to my website, justinSking.com/fast for a free checklist that can change your sleeping habits in as little as 3 days. My name is Justin S. King, and I help entrepreneurs find peace tonight, tomorrow, and for the rest of their lives through sleep optimization, emotion regulation, and discovering their purpose. Good night.